Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
We're back.
We're back.
No countdown.
No countdown. We are back. We are live.
Yeah.
We are live. We are live.
Yeah.
Alive. Okay. Yeah. Hello. Hello. We are back. We are live.
We're
Okay.
doing the virtue summary again.
We are doing your virtue summary. Last week I was so exhausted. I was so tired. I was taking some medications. So this week I'm alive. What's my name? I'm Jay. I'm Mommy Jay. She's
I'm Mr. J.
Little J.
I'm Big J.
We are the J Girls, and this is our broadcast RWJ J Girls Cow Chat. We are live from our studio, and we welcome you for joining us today. Once again, thank you for joining us. Today is our last summary on virtue, and I hope we'll make it snappy and we'll just remind you what we've done so far. If you missed our last summary last week, kindly go back to our YouTube and check out our channel and give us a feedback. Oh, we had a feedback from somebody from the United States today, giving us some thumbs up and telling us has been watching us, and we felt so good. Really? Who was my mom?
I don't know.
Anyway, so let's dig in. What are we doing today? We stopped at the virtue of moral action. So courage. Let's
That's
quickly.
pretty good.
But dipping.
I remember courage.
You remember courage? What did you remember about courage?
Courage and bravery are not the same thing.
Oh yeah, and I kept doing this.
Courage and bravery. What's the difference?
I can't remember. I think
Courage is
courage
better.
Mhm.
I think courage is better because bravery is that even though you're scared, courage is even though you're scared, you keep going. Bravery is just that you're not scared.
Bravery is good. I think you remembered. You see, so bravery is
But yeah, bravery, maybe like
yeah.
you're doing it for like, I don't know, some kind of YouTube vlog.
Uh-huh.
Courage is you're just going ahead. You
You
don't
just do it.
really
Yeah.
even want to do it maybe.
Yeah, so courage is I'm scared. The lion is in front of me, the bear is in front of me. I'm going to tear it up anyway. Boldness is like something, I'll take the jawbones and I'll kill some guys. See? So that's the difference in courage and boldness. So one was never afraid, one was afraid and did it anyway. So we have boldness,
Bravery.
and confidence. So that's all working together in it. And we just talked about boldness and bravery, and then confidence comes along as the twin sister that walks along with the third sister, the triple sister that walks along
No,
with
those two are brothers.
Those two are brothers, so that's the sister. All right, so boldness
other one?
is adventurous, fearless, dauntless. We said it. So boldness, take risk. And why should we be bold? Let's quickly remind ourselves we should be bold because
It builds our
it
confidence.
builds our confidence, it gives
Gives
us a
us a
voice, it helps motivate us,
Attracts the visionaries.
attract visionaries.
And it isn't.
It's exciting to be bold. So what are signs of boldness?
They own their flaws and strengths.
Mm-hmm,
They keep clear priorities.
mm-hmm,
They speak up.
mm-hmm.
They pair action with knowledge.
Uh-huh,
They accept the value of failure.
uh-huh.
They make the most of small wins. And
They
they
build momentum. That is it. That is boldness. They build momentum. All right. So let's see bravery, guts,
Flinch.
balance.
Bravery.
So it's heart, great hearted,
Grit.
Great-hearted.
great hearted.
Why didn't you just say it like that?
Because I wanted to make you fun. Good.
Great. Heart.
It's
This
good.
is someone who's learning to speak.
Anyway, so how do we show bravery?
Face difficulties head on.
Good.
Stand up for your values and beliefs.
Good.
Accept and understand yourself. Know what
Okay.
your
Ask
fears
for
are and
help.
examine
You
Okay.
missed one. Ask for help.
Okay.
Increase your self-confidence.
Know what your fears are and examine them. Okay.
That's a topic.
Challenge your negative emotions. If you are brave, you challenge your negative. You don't wait for someone to come and challenge it. You challenge it yourself. You don't believe in perfectionism. You start your days with self-affirmation. Not wake up. Oh, why did I have to wake up? I'm not good enough. You don't start your day grumpy. Take risk, stay honest,
and do the right thing.
stay out of your comfort zone.
Act.
That is the one I'm trying every day. My comfort zone. But I need to be brave enough to go out of my comfort zone. So why should we be brave?
Bravery gives you courage.
You will start speaking honestly once you brave.
You start speaking honestly because when you're not brave, you don't speak honestly.
You accept yourself if you are brave.
Good.
Bravery allows you to live life
In your own terms, not somebody telling you what to do or how to live your life. Obviously, you make your life happier. What else?
Okay, so
You know when to say no or
and
yes.
when you are
Okay.
brave.
integrity.
You have integrity. It reduces fear.
And you'll start taking risks
Risk.
and act wiser.
Uh-huh.
Bravery
Those
makes you
almost-
a man of action.
Bravery makes you a woman of action.
Those two
Okay,
almost contradict each other. Don't
Which
start
one?
taking risks and act wiser, because maybe risks aren't always the wise thing.
Yeah, you
They're-
can take risks and also be wise in the risk. Now, let me give an example. The boy with the bear and the lion. The risk he took was to save the little lamb, but he was wise enough to dismantle the little lamb from the lion's mouth. So he's applying risk and applying wisdom with the risk. Okay. All right, so let's see.
Aplomb.
Confidence, assurance, self-possession is a principle of intention. I have an intention to do something and do it. So how do we show confidence? I like the speedometer. How confident I am each day, I can go to the speedometer and check. So how do we learn confidence? Look at what you've already achieved, then you are confident.
Okay.
The courage is the three of them: boldness, bravery, boldness, bravery, and confidence are courage. So the three of them make courage as the moral action of courage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, how do we show confidence?
look at what you've already achieved.
Achieved. So that will help you to look at your milestones and move forward. Think of what you're good at to help you. You don't start building confidence by learning a new instrument when you're good at cooking. You lose your confidence. Set some goals and
Talk yourself up.
talk yourself
can
up
do
like
this.
me. I can't do it. Talk yourself up, baby. Talk yourself up, baby. Oh, talk yourself up, baby. Talk yourself up, baby. Get a hobby. So, why should we be confident? Same thing as we said about bravery, because it gives us courage. It helps us to speak honestly. And all the things we said about bravery comes with confidence also. So every morning when you wake up and you're faced with a challenge, look at your speedometer. Am I very low on confidence right now? How do I help myself to get more confidence? By choosing one of those 5 things to start with, and you would build your confidence.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Wait, go back to that slide.
Okay.
I remember when we were looking at this thing, we asked each other how high our confidence was.
So how high is your confidence?
About the olive one.
Olive one, how high is your confidence?
The second red one.
I'm highest man.
Isn't that kind of egoistical? Though?
It's not egoistical. I'm teaching kids about confidence. So I need to be confident to stand in front of a camera. Can't you see? I need a lot of courage to stand in front of a camera. Right? That's a lot of confidence for me. All right. So yes, you can. Remember, you can do it if you choose to. So we're going to humility. What did he talk about? Humility, obedience, acceptance, modesty. Do you remember what they said here? Did you play any song in this one? Yes, we did. We're still playing songs.
Oh, honesty.
Modesty.
The honesty song.
Yeah. I can't remember. I think we played the song. Anyway, so what's obedience? I'm amenable. So
Amen.
compliance,
Oh yeah, amen.
submission.
Let
And
it
then-
be so.
Let it be so. Amen means let it be
That's
so.
what I was going to say. The chapter's talking over
So
me
conformity.
and submission.
So what did we learn about obedience? Can you remind us?
They're not the same thing. I think obedience is like out of will, is it not? And
Uh-huh.
then,
Conformity is societal. Obedience is personal.
What
So
is conformity?
conformity is trying to do a group obedience is conformity. So all your friends have taken the COVID vaccine. To conform with them, you have to go and take the COVID vaccine. So that's conformity, that's group obedience. So according to social norms, while obedience is not by norms, obedience is obeying a law and an authority. And conformity is indirect to the authority, while obedience is direct to the authority. Conformity is primarily standing guide on the standard of others, primarily based on the standard others have placed for you, while obedience is maintaining the norms. You were teaching us the cultural awareness course recently, and you were talking about norms and values. So obeying those norms and values are obedient. And then if you fail to conform, you'll be ignored and marginalized. Very good example is J.K. Rowling's. And if you refuse to obey, you'll be punished for the best consequence. If your house rule is don't steal and you steal, there's a consequence in the house. So you see, that is it. So obeying authority,
I found out about this guy.
You found out about the
I think
guy
it was like to somewhere in
in the US.
was it the I thought it was Peru or something.
Was it Peru? I think
don't
it's
know.
so. But everybody conformed
We
to
have
what he said.
another one about this with courage and bravery.
But we are on obedience. So everybody obeyed his authority foolishly.
Conformed, I guess.
Conformed.
Conforming.
It started as obedient, but joy became conformity, and everybody became influenced by him. So that means that obedience can start as a behavior, but you now start making it a society, a group thing, and end up in if anybody didn't follow what he said, they would have been in trouble, kind of. Yeah. So that is it. So let's quickly move on because we've done that a lot. So we have acceptance, embrace, obtaining, welcoming. It's a principle of yes. I accept you as my daughter. I have no choice anyway, so yes. Hey, So it's a principle of accepting just the way things are supposed to be. It's raining, yes. It's raining. I don't like rain. It was really raining. The day was raining. Better it was raining. My day was raining. Every day I like it. Non-acceptance is equal to moaning, complaining, always complaining. But as a virtue, we need to develop the virtue of accepting our situation, accepting things, accepting people just the way they are. So accept yourself, acknowledge your reality, practice radical honesty, identify your part in the issue, admit your mistake. This afternoon, I was talking to a friend. I admitted my mistake to what I did, and it was that accepting what I did. I own up to my outcome. I didn't allow fear to take over what I was supposed to do. I count my competences. I let go of biases. I accept the struggle as part of my reality. And I make a plan to become better. So acceptance is all about accepting who you are, not moaning, not complaining, and not trying to change because the society says you should change. Accepting who you are by the way you are. Okay? So it's important that kids at home, you learn to accept yourself just the way you are. Because most of the time we don't do so, and we end up in a more serious mental issues because at the end of the day, we were not acceptance of ourselves from the beginning. All right, so let's go. Modesty. Okay. What's modesty?
Self-effacement. fairness or down to earthness,
Uh-huh.
and self-consciousness.
So it's the principle of
Principle of
moderation. So we said a lot of things about modesty, and most of the time it's about physical appearance. That's where we discussed it from.
Covering up
Covering up ourselves.
sensitive areas.
Yeah, sensitive areas of our body. And so how do we do that? But moderacy can also be in terms of food. It could also be in terms of friendships. It could also be in terms of
Just yourself.
going out. Yeah, it could also be in terms of building boundaries. Be moderate about your actions. So how do we achieve that? By having a healthy, realistic impression of yourself. If you don't have a healthy impression of yourself, you want to be like all the celebrities out there that are eight figure 8
Hourglass.
and then their face is creamy as a lie.
Creamy.
Yeah,
That's a weird way to
Photoshop.
describe it.
Photoshop. So please
Oh, yeah,
accept.
their faces are always so shiny.
Yeah, it's
Shiny.
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 It's Photoshop. So please accept the realistic, healthy impression of yourself. Seek advice and constructive criticism. Resist the urge to brag about yourself too. Oh, my dimples are so lovely.
Resist it. Resist it.
Accept compliments without ego. I just accepted a compliment. Thank you. Thank you. Strive for selflessness. Live within your means. Don't try and conform because all your mates are buying the latest trainers you want to.
Doesn't that also mean like don't go like near to overdraft or something?
Don't go
That's
in
finance
debt
system.
because you want to achieve a particular set of lifestyle. Buy used things and discounted things, frugality.
Unless it's like nappies.
Yeah, except it's necessary.
Nappies. I don't know what to use. Do you really?
Yeah, you sure I didn't use nappy for you?
Oh.
You sure I didn't use
No,
nappy?
I'm not a nappy age now.
I know, but then how you sure I didn't use nappy for you?
About the night nappies.
Yeah.
The night nappies that you want to do my birthday.
Oh, I know what you mean.
I went to the shop, so we went to the shop, so we saw some night nappies.
Oh,
And I
those
told
ones
Jen,
like
I said we should buy one for you.
And I was like, no.
oh, you're digressing.
I'm digressing. Okay, let's go on. So wear clothing that are revealing. Avoid extremes in appearance. Extremes means that don't wear too covered, except for religion, and then don't wear too naked. So be moderate. Use languages that are positive and uplifting.
Am I wearing what is moderate?
No, you're not. It's extreme.
You're
No use swear words.
also wearing.
No use swear words. Okay. So respect. Ooh.
This is another one. I think this is.
So respect is the one we
Oh.
talked about. Kindness.
We're already
faith.
here.
Yes, we're already here.
This is like the second last one.
Yes, but you said we should be fast.
So
Yes, you see, you did say.
We're
There was
too
only
fast.
15
Not
minutes.
too
and we're
fast.
on the
Yeah,
third
we're
one.
way too fast.
This is way too fast. Okay.
Let's slow down.
So kindness, faith, stewardship, reverence, and gratitude. This is the closest one we did, and we are just going to run through it. So, what is kindness? Consideration, affection, warmth, thoughtfulness. So it's a principle of consideration, considering others. So we had some quotes when we were talking about kindness, and these were the quotes we read. 3 things in life are important. First, to be kind. Second, to be kind. Third, to be kind. So you have to just live a life that is kind. No matter what people do to you, always respond with kindness. No matter how hurtful their words are, always try to be kind. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, somebody said something very hurtful to me. And my response was, I wanted to say, why on earth do you? I just said, oh, no, that's okay. I wasn't pretending, but I had to remember I had to be kind. Okay, peace cannot be kept by force. It can be achieved by understanding. Understanding is
By
kindness.
Albert Einstein.
Okay, Big J.
You can only understand people if you feel them in yourself.
So feeling them in yourself
Put
is
yourself in their shoes.
kindness.
Ace.
Kindness is feeling them in yourself. So big little J.
Be kind, for everyone you meet may be facing a harder battle.
Exactly. Just imagine if the person that was having this issue with me some few days ago was having a harder time and I just lashed out, I would just worsen the whole situation. So kindness sometimes is for us to also help the person we are speaking to, because it's a hard life. Hard life. It's a, what's that song? It's a hard
It's a
life.
hard
Life
life.
now.
Or,
No, it's a
hard
life now.
Coffee strike.
We sang it. It's
We
not
sang it
correct.
really badly.
So,
So they won't notice.
so it's a hard life out there, and so we have to we have to make sure that we help people to be kind. Big J,
Is it be kind whenever possible?
yeah.
I wasn't following. Okay.
So be kind whenever
kind-
possible.
But it's always possible.
It's always possible to
Always
be
be
kind.
kind.
Always possible to be kind. And so the last one is from a folktale.
Writer.
Yeah. So
A
story.
star.
Ace.
no act of kindness, no matter what, how small, is ever wasted. So let's remember that. I like this quote. A little spark of kindness can put a colossal burst of sunshine into somebody's life. Let the sunshine, let the sunshine, let the sunshine come into your life. Oh, okay. Okay, I started it. I will end it. All right. You don't know what we're doing.
No, I don't know what you're singing.
It's a song I grew up singing. All right, faith, trust, belief, and dependence is a principle of.
Expectation.
So faith means you don't have it. So this is the one I wrote brief instead of believe. Okay, so it's belief that should be there, not brief. All right.
Oh.
So principle of expectation. So you don't see it yet, but you expect it. So how does faith helps in a situation? Big J.
It acts as the pathway to finding solutions.
Okay.
Faith trumps stress, anxiety, and fear.
Uh-huh.
Faith helps you to discover your purpose in life.
Uh-huh.
Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I
Exactly.
don't like that quote. That's all. It's really annoying.
You know, let me give you an example. The challenges I've faced in the past few years and I've overcome it. It made me stronger. It didn't kill me. Because if it has killed me, I won't be alive. I won't be mommy now. Aha. So whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's the best quote ever. And it takes faith to
I
do
know
that.
it's true, but it's just
So focus power of faith breeds abundance.
It doesn't.
So it means that if you focus on faith, you get the reality of what you had faith about. So it's like faith, believing, and you receive what you believe.
Oh,
Ah.
I see.
So let your faith be bigger than your.
Fear.
Okay, girls, keep that in mind. Stewardship, the principle of what are those ones? Direction.
Governance.
Uh-huh.
Direction and exploration.
So what does that mean?
This always reminds me of like some kind of cinema or something.
Yeah, so it's stewardship is about service.
Yeah.
More of service. No, it's more of service. So we had
Colorful.
yeah, so these are the ones where we talked about stewardship. So as children, I like this, and I want Big J and Little J to put this in the back of your brain, your head, your hands. You are a steward of your life. You are a steward. You are in charge. You have the management rights of your life. I am just here to guide your management skills, but you have your management rights. The management to your body, keeping it healthy. We're talking about keeping your body healthy before we came on here, right?
Okay.
Yes. So the stewardship of the environment. Don't drop recyclables on the floor or dirt on the floor while you're walking. Your gift, your talent, your ability. You are in charge of making sure you practice your instruments and practice whatever skill you have, your singing ability, your drawing ability, all those skills. You are in charge. Your time. That is a very big one. You are in charge of your time, your money. You are in charge of your possession. You know, I talk a lot about breaking things and destroying things. It's all about stewardship. How well do you manage the things that have been given to you? And there are some words that I hear that talks about stewardship a lot.
America.
Americans.
No, I do.
So we have responsibility, business, mental success, strategy, vision, inspiration, support.
Stewardship.
Stop screaming. Management, stewardship. You see, you are not as high as me. Leadership, boss, confidence. You see, stewardship comes with confidence. So they are all power.
Challenges.
Oh, we can't say the rest. Just say
Promotion.
Analysis.
So
I saw promotion.
why should we be stewards about what we have?
It promotes greater
Overall transparency and accountability. It fosters a culture of responsibility, and it gives a long-term.
Profitability.
So there's profit in being a good
Put
steward.
comments on a full stop.
Yeah, there's a profit in being a steward of yourself, your time, your management skills, your ability, your money, your possession, your environment, your body, especially boys and girls, your body. Be a good steward of taking care of your body. Be a good steward of taking care of your time. Be a good steward of taking care of your possession. Now the economy is very hard. Mom and dad is trying. Please take care of the things that you have, and they will really appreciate it if you're a good steward of your water bottle, your school bag, your school uniform, your sports uniform. It's important you're a good steward of your possession. All right, reverence. Reverence means honor, admiration,
Honor?
affection, affection, and worship. So remember, what are the things we said? We gave a differences between respect and reverence. Respect is being nice, being kind to strangers, especially your elders. It's mostly external, motivated by the society. While reverence is deep, spiritual, and it comes from inside. So we have to note that. So respect is an external way of approaching things, while reverence is more of internal. And when you say you reverence your dad, that means that from your inside, you honor him as your dad. You have a spiritual connection as your father and a child. So respect, reverence, self-esteem are the basic prerequisites. Prerequisites. Requisites.
Requisite.
I refuse to be a competitor who struggles.
Can you read it properly? Rodrigo?
Oh yeah, can you read it properly? You know I'm not literate.
reverence,
I'm not literate
self-esteem.
yet. Yeah, read it.
Respect, reverence, and self-esteem
Are
are my basic requisites. I refuse to be a competitor who struggled to personal rights.
Exactly.
By Bal Roops.
So it's important that those three things are the prerequisite. Peruku.
Requisite.
Prerequisite.
Why did he say per? It doesn't have a
I know. I'm just trying to pull your legs. Requisite.
prerequisite.
Yeah.
Oh,
Prerequisite means before.
what is
Requisite means
requisite?
the main core.
Core of what?
The main core of your values. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Reverence for life is the highest court of appeal. So these are the words that are related to reverence: worship, respect, homage, esteem, fear, adoration. All
I
right.
don't know
So
about fear.
fear, when they say you
Oh,
fear
yeah, there are
God,
different
when you
fears,
say
I
you
guess.
fear God, that means that you won't do anything to hurt him. So let's say gratitude, principle of thanksgiving, appreciation, acknowledgement, recognition. I love this. Kids, be grateful for what you
This
have
is the
been doing.
last one.
So, what are the things that are related to the principle of gratitude? How do we develop gratitude?
Say thank you.
Acknowledge others people's efforts, develop a positive mindset, accept yourself,
Volunteer
and give back. Okay, so how does it affect your brain?
Gratitude release toxic emotions from your brain.
Yes.
I always thought that meant it just gives you toxic emotions.
It releases the toxic emotions. So when you're angry and you suddenly start saying thank you, what happens? The anger will just go down. So gratitude reduces pain.
It improves sleep quality.
It aids stress regulation.
It reduces anxiety and depression.
So if you see people that are ungrateful, they are also very anxious and depressed
Most times.
because they are mourning.
Could be most times.
They can't accept things. So, it shouldn't rain. It shouldn't rain. Why is it raining? Why should it rain? I don't want it to rain. It's always raining.
Why raining? My day's raining. Why does it have to rain? All I want
So,
is for it to
acknowledging the good that you already have in life is the foundation of all abundance. So that is gratitude. I like that quote.
last one of this chapter.
So, the virtue of
Love.
love.
Did we skip like the excellence and initiative, or did we do that last
We
week?
did that last week. So we have 5 virtues of love.
The last virtues.
So we have generosity, mercy, grace, forgiveness, and compassion.
And altruism.
Compassion.
Compassion.
I don't think grace isn't in this whole thing.
We did grace, compassion.
Grace.
Mercy is grace. Compassion.
No, see?
I shouldn't say compassion.
No.
Compassion. All right. So altruism is the principle of consideration. So it requires. Jed, can you please help us to say things properly? It requires selflessness, self-denial, and self-sacrifice.
Begin with self.
So we brought a lot about this virtue, and we said sometimes when we overdo it, it hurts us, because the picture of a woman there, sometimes we can be so considerate to others that we turn back and it affects us. And for me, that I'm an autistic person, I end up bearing the pain of even those that are hurting me. My kids can attest to that. So I am learning very, very strongly not to allow people to not define, take advantage of me, take advantage of my compassion and very soft, generous. Yeah. So because at the end of the day, you carry other people's burden and you end up broken. All right. So how can we be more altruistic? Spread love, serve your community, and enjoy the benefit yourself. Don't just sow, but also enjoy the benefit. Don't support useless and harmful causes.
What could those be?
Everybody says, let's go and support this charity. You to go support. Let's go and fundraise. But you don't understand why they are doing it. Okay, let me give you an example. A very blatant one is BLM. When everybody was shouting and giving money to BLM. I need to be frank about it.
Is controversial.
It's not controversial because at the end of the day, the money was not used for what it was meant for. The cost might be right. I'm not saying the cost is not right. But at the end of the day, it becomes useless because it was not used for what it was meant for. It was not used for buying $6 million house or 60 million. Still, we'll just about that later. Okay, backstage. But so you understand. So the cost is right, but the means to achieve the cost became wrong.
Also, how do you raise money for people to stop racism? Like, I don't think fundraising
to stop racism.
Giving away your money won't stop racism.
Exactly. How do you give money to stop racism? It doesn't work because racism is something that comes from racism is linked to the sin nature. So you can't contribute money to stop the sin nature of man, can you? Anyway, do what you enjoy and excel at it. Use carrots rather than sticks.
Why carrots?
That means
celery.
Yeah?
I said why carrots?
Why?
I said celery.
Why carrots? Because you count the good you've done rather than always looking at the things that have not been done well. Avoid overconfidence. Very important.
Celery is good.
So, generosity.
Principle of
Open-handedness, hospitality, bounty, benevolence. And what did we learn? The difference between kindness and generosity. Can you tell us, BJ?
Kindness is
Americans.
Kindness is the quality of being friendly, considerate, and generous. while generosity refers to someone's willingness to give more help or money, especially more than strictly necessary or expected.
Okay. So kindness is, hey, you're kind, you're friendly, but generosity, it goes beyond kindness. Generosity goes even when it is not 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 known. You do it and nobody expects you to do it. I remember growing up, and there is an orphanage somewhere in Africa where the person built an orphanage, and everything he owned, he used it to help the kids.
Everything.
It was a rich person before, and he converted all his wealth into the orphanage. And
I don't know if I could do that.
exactly, but that's
I'd be really
generosity.
stingy.
So you'd be really stingy, but that's fair, because generosity is a virtue you can develop. So don't
Also,
feel
it kind
bad.
of depends on your background sometimes, too.
It-
Because maybe
It doesn't depend on the background, it depends on development. Virtue is not dependent on background, it depends on whether you choose to develop it. That is why we're doing this. Because I can come from a very wealthy background. When we're talking about compassion, those wealthy ladies, they came from wealthy families. When we're talking about compassion, the example of a lady that was in the Beaujour, London, that went to the poor area,
yeah.
or
And
you
the
see,
one that dyed his skin black.
or the one that died is skin black, to show that he associates with the black, or the one that went to the Turkey immigrant camp. So it's not about your background, it's about your heart. All
Most of
about
those people are
virtue.
wealthy.
Yeah, all about
All of them.
virtue is about your heart, it's not about your background. So
Okay.
it has to do with giving others, your heart to others, giving your resources, sharing your resources, your blessing. It's all about giving, generosity strictly. Once again, it's not about your background or what you have, it's about your heart. And it's not about kindness so that everybody will see. It's about giving when nobody sees you. There's also, I think it's in Ghana. There was a teacher that got an award last year or something, that his salary, he teaches poor children, and every month he uses his salary to buy stationaries for them. He was given the best teacher award or something. You can
I
research
think
it.
that was Ghana.
Yeah?
I feel like that was Ghana. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's Ghana. So you see, that is
But that's
generosity.
really nice.
But that's
Why do you say but?
exactly, why is the but?
So that's really nice.
Oh, that's nice. No, but so that is the act of generosity. He went out of his way. He could have used his salary for many other things, but he decided to give it to the kids and to help the kids. That's generosity. And it doesn't matter whether he's rich or poor, it's just his heart. Mercy, the principle of mildness, grace, leniency, forgiveness, tenderness. We talked about grace, and it comes in with mercy, leniency. So, this is a quote we have from Joyce Meyer, and the quote says, "Mercy is the stuff you give to people that don't deserve it. It's perfect." So, mercy is given to people that have hurt you, um, blessing rather than the way they hurt you. Nothing makes you happier than when you really reach out in mercy to someone who is badly hurt.
Well, like the story of the Good Samaritan.
Like the good story of Good Samaritan, mercy. That's good. So, kids at home, daddies and mom, it's important that we express mercy in our daily life and show mercy to people. Mercy is not okay, whatever, just go. Mercy is, you don't deserve it, but I'll have mercy on you and I'll love you still.
It's sort of going the extra mile to make sure that
Yeah.
you've completely forgiven
You've
them.
completely forgiven them. And remember the story of the woman and the boy in the prison.
Oh, yeah.
That's mercy.
I'll
Always
never forget
remember
that
that.
story.
Don't ever forget that story. That is mercy. And if you want to know that story, please go to our past episode on mercy where we discussed it deeper. Forgiveness. Yeah, letting off.
No, like
Pardon?
what is this one? I think the story of the
Mercy and forgiveness were two stories that were joined in that story. So, pardon, remission,
Absolution.
that is letting go. That woman forgave that boy in the prison, And then, first of all, she had mercy on him, and then she forgave him. So, what happens when we don't forgive?
It's sad. You don't feel good. You have that kind of guilt, like maybe I should have forgiven that person after all.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it will get too late to put it back.
Mm-hmm. What happens when you don't forgive?
It's like a book, like that Desmond and the very mean word.
Mm-hmm. What happened in the book?
So Desmond was riding his new bike,
Mm-hmm.
and then 3 boys came and shouted a very mean word at him.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted to get back at them, so he shouted the meanest word he could think of
Mhm.
at them.
Mm-hmm.
And then he felt bad, and he had a bitter taste in his mouth.
You had a bitter
He
taste
tried
in your
to
mouth.
keep it in, but then it became so bad that he had to tell.
The father.
Don't spoil the ending though, because this was in one of our story times.
So why not? So you
Okay,
told the
never mind.
father, and what did the fathers do?
He told him to forgive the boy,
Told him
and
to
then
forgive.
later he saw the boy had been dunked in the bucket of water,
Mm-hmm.
and then he felt sorry for the boy.
And he went to help
forgave the
them.
boy.
And he went to help them.
Yeah,
Good.
he forgave the boy, and then the boy gave him a chocolate, and then he wrote him saying,
So what happens in the picture when you don't forgive? You're in barren land. The plants are green. The sun is cloudy and horrible. But when you forgive, forgiveness is for yourself. Forgiveness is not for others. When you forgive, you grow, you heal, you improve, and you move on. So why must we forgive? There are 3 types of forgiveness: exonerating, forbearing, and release. And why must we forgive? In order to receive forgiveness for our sins, we need to forgive others. Forgiveness allows us to overcome the feeling of anger,
bitterness,
and
Revenge.
revenge, which is very important. Forgiveness can heal spiritual wound and bring peace and love that only God can give. That is if you're spiritual. But if you're not, forgiveness heals the wound and bring the peace and the love you so much desire if you don't have God to help you. But if you have God to help you, that's what forgiveness does. So it's important that we develop the virtue of forgiveness, which is very, very hard nowadays in this society where we are, that everybody's right and everybody's truth is right. Forgiveness is very difficult to come by, and that's why the world is hurting, because there's so much unforgiveness, there's so much meanness going on, there's so much crucifixion of what people say. Crucifixion.
Jen is right in this.
I know she's right, but I wanted to make joke. She just spoiled my joke. I wanted to make a joke out of it.
I didn't know the joke.
Anyway, so let's quickly see what we have after forgiveness: compassion, empathy, care, and consideration. So it's the principle of empathy. So can you remember what we said about this, Big J?
Uncompassionate means indifferent or uncaring about the way other people feel.
Uh-huh.
And an uncompassionate person isn't emotionally affected by the sight of someone who's crying.
Okay, so what of these squares should we be as compassionate people? To wise compassion. So if you want to find out what we talked about in those circles, please go back to our video on compassion. And it is very important that kids at home, we grow up as wise and compassionate people. In other words, we see people and we are able to help them and not walk away. We have a heart, we go after it, and we reach out and help them as compassionate. So go back to please reach out to our video on compassion and watch the details where we discussed it. So we gave an examples of compassionate one. I know Big J is going to like this. So this was John Howard Griffin. He crossed the racial divide. We'll be talking about racism. We talked a few times about racism today, but racism is not something that can be healed with money or basically principle or laws and material things. Racism is something that has to change from within a man. And so what he did was he decided to have a taste of what was happening, to the racially segregated people, and he turned himself into a black by becoming dark. And he was able to understand what they were going through. And he, in fact, he joined the crusade mission of Martin Luther King Jr. And I like what he said in his book. He said, if only we could put ourselves in the shoes of others and see how we could react, then we might become aware of the injustice and discrimination and the tragic inhumanity of every kind of prejudice. So behind every prejudice that have existed since man have existed, I'm not talking about white and black, I'm talking about Arabs, I'm talking about Romans, I'm talking about
Even slavery.
slavery. No, slavery,
Ancient slavery.
Asian slavery, yeah, all that over the centuries and decades, it's all, there's always been injustice. So injustice is not just, it didn't start by slave trade to between the Western world and Africa. Beyond that, there were,
And then even before that.
even before that, exactly, even before that. So it's important that we note those, except we put ourselves in the shoes of those that are suffering, we don't actually understand the pain of what they go through. And that was what Griffin taught us, because he crossed the line because of his compassion. So boys, girls at home, I think that is the end of the slides we put together for our summary. So we finally gave you a summary clip for the last 2 episodes of Everything About Virtue. So what we are going to do now is I create maybe packages or put these things together into a workable format for you to remember what the virtues we've learned. We'll put it on our website when we can. But these are the things that we want to expose to kids. We've learned so many virtues. I've been challenged personally, and I've been challenged by the virtues I need to develop. And I know Big J has been, I know Little J has been. One of the virtues Little J have to do is to wait until she speaks. That's the virtue she needs to develop. So, but anyway, we appreciate her still. She's a very lovely potato. Patata. Yeah. we met some Italian tourists a few years ago, and when they, is it Italian or Spanish? When they saw Jet, they said, "Oh my God, look at this potato!" That means a cute little girl. And so since then, she's a little potato. Anyway, so thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We're going to take a break next week. We've agreed with the girls to plan for our next season and what we'll be talking about.
Next season sounds very dramatic. We're not really a TV show yet.
We're not a TV show, but we'll come back with a new series we'll be talking about. Really appreciate. We enjoy this journey with you. If you missed any episode, please check our social media channels and catch up with us with comments. Tell us how we're doing. If you want to contribute or come on our program to discuss with us, we really have an open door policy, and we want to speak to you about what you think we're doing. We appreciate you. Please visit our website, www.regroofy.com. We have some free resources for kids. We have free books to read, and we have our cultural awareness journal and our cultural awareness booklet out on sale. You can support our charity by purchasing these materials for your kids, which is going to help them to be more culturally aware. And on top of that, we are working on a series of cultural awareness courses, which Big J is helping us to do, and self-awareness courses at the back of this virtue. And I believe it's going to help kids out there to be more aware of themselves and be aware of those around them. So we really appreciate you, and we will see you next time on our WJ Culture.
Wait, what's about the virtue song?
What's virtue
Oh
song?
yeah, you.
I promised that we're going to listen to it. Okay, they just reminded me of a virtue song.
I almost forgot.
Huh?
I would have forgotten.
Yeah, Big DTJ reminded us of the virtue song.
There it is.
Okay, so let's see. Little J wants to hear the virtue song. Did you put it as a song?
I don't know.
You didn't put it as a song. Oh, what a shame. It's a screenshot.
Oh.
You didn't put it as a song. So
That's a
anyways, that's a shame. So wanted to show you, but it came up as a screenshot. You didn't put it as a song. But anyway, we can put the link on the description if you want to listen to Virtually So Beautiful. Virtually So Beautiful. That's what makes it beautiful.
You're spoiling it.
I was really, I'm just saying, na 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 na. That's just why you're beautiful.